Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. We have a very, very special guest on today. One of the original Ravens content creators, amassed 75,000 subscribers on YouTube. I am honored to welcome Ingraven. What's up, bro? Appreciate you coming on.
Hey, what's going on? I appreciate you having me on, man. So shout out to you. I appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do. Appreciate you having been on our channel as well. We had a lot of fun making those videos, but I appreciate everything that you do for Ravens community too, man. And shout out to Ray Lewis too for the intro.
Yeah, I definitely shout out Ray. Appreciate you, Ray. And yeah, thanks for having me on your channel too, man. That was sick. If you guys haven't seen that at all, we've shot 3 videos that he dropped over the weekend. So I'll have all the links to Ingraven's channels and things like that. So just make sure to hop over there and check those out too. Well, let's dive into some Ravens talk. So there's been a lot of comments, a lot of people still concerned and complaining about not filling a lot of these losses. We probably had more losses this offseason than usual.
Yeah.
So I want to go through some of these losses and just get your thoughts, Ingraven, on who you might still be concerned about and if we haven't done enough to fill those holes. So we got linebacker. Obviously, we lost Patrick Queen, and yeah, to the Steelers, which is you know, a slap in the face. It feels like, but that's interesting. We can talk about that. Pass rush, losing Clowney. We did re-sign Van Noy, but losing Clowney obviously takes a hit. More responsibility for Owe and Ajabo now. Losing Geno Stone at safety. We haven't really replaced that too much. It's still Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton there for now. Corner, we lost Darby. We obviously did draft Wiggins in Tampa, so we've reloaded there a little bit. We lost Mike McDonald, defensive coordinator, replacing with Zach Orr. So how's that going to go? Running back, we lost J.K. Gus, but we did sign Henry.
Yeah.
Interior offensive line, losing Zeitler, Simpson, and Moses. There's some question marks there. So, Ingraven, I just want to get your thoughts. Which position group out of those, I know I ran through them pretty quickly, but what is still a big concern for you moving forward that we really haven't filled that?
I think a couple of them. Definitely, and not even that we haven't filled it, but it's just a lot of unknowns, is the offensive line. Because like you mentioned, Kevin Zeitler, Morgan Moses, and John Simpson. So we got little open spots at left guard, at right guard, and at right tackle. And we have Roger Rosengarten, you got Voorhees, you got Ben Cleveland, you got Josh Jones, you got Daniel Failele. But so you have some guys that are going to be in there for competition, but it's just so much unknown. So you obviously know that everything goes through the offensive line. It's offense. It starts and ends with the offensive line. If the offensive line is great, that makes the offense that much better. That gives Lamar Jackson time to read the field. That gives the receivers time to get open. That gives the running backs lanes to run through. So everything goes hand in hand with the offensive line. But if they are not good, then we know the results as well, unfortunately. So offensive line, big question marks there. And I can still see them adding a veteran here, there too, just to add to the mix for competition. Now, another position group where it's a question mark, I think, in my opinion, is actually at linebacker. I know a lot of people are like, oh, man, Patrick Queen wasn't even that good. I think Patrick Queen was actually really good, especially his last 2 years with the Baltimore Ravens. I think things started off a bit shaky in his career early on. But then the year that Roquan got there, even before Roquan was there, Patrick Queen, he was doing his thing. And then they traded for Roquan, and then that helped Patrick Queen just remain a lot more consistent. That allowed him to get even better, with Roquan really taking the lead and Patrick Queen just being right by his side. So I think that really allowed Patrick Queen to grow a lot. And then he went into his final year with Roquan obviously still taking the lead and Patrick Queen right there too, and he did his thing. And I think that just really allowed him to play more free and play more loose and play more confidently. And we saw that. We saw a different Patrick Queen. But then now he, like you said, he went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, so that should be a fun little spark to the rivalry. Oh, yeah. But now it's Trenton Simpson. So I know a lot of people like, hey, Trenton Simpson in that Steelers game, he showed us because he looked good in that Steelers game. Last game of the season when the starters weren't playing, but it's about consistency now. Not to say he can't do it. We all hope that he can, but I just question, like, all right, is he going to be the guy? Obviously, his skill set, he got the speed, he could blitz, he could move around, he could do so many different things. But now can he do that consistently? So it's to be determined. So I know a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people sleep on the Patrick Queen departure because a lot of people, especially with him going to Pittsburgh, that made a lot of Ravens fans real angry at him and real salty about him leaving. And I feel like that also made a lot of Ravens fans look at him the wrong way, like he was some bad player, and he really wasn't. At running back, with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, both ended up going to the Chargers. Both end up reuniting with Greg Roman, and the Baltimore Ravens adding Derrick Henry. I think a bigger loss than J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, in my opinion, for the Ravens this year, and we don't know how long this loss is going to last for, is Keaton Mitchell. That was such a big blow when he went out toward the end of the season last year, because Keaton Mitchell, like, when you think about Derrick Henry, the possibility of Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell sharing the same backfield, they are literal perfect for each other. They are a perfect fit because Derrick Henry, underrated speed. He ain't no burner, nothing like that. But once he gets going, like it's going to be hard to stop him because he got some decent speed and he's strong too. But Keaton Mitchell, blazing fast. So they would have been the perfect, like, 1-2 punch with each other. But we do still have Justice Hill and the rookie running back that we drafted, Rasheen Ali, I think.
Yep.
And so we'll see how that goes. But like Keaton Mitchell, that's a big loss in itself. So hopefully he can be healthy sooner rather than later. Don't rush him now. We want him for the long haul rather than the short haul. But I think that's a big loss too. Mentioned the cornerbacks because we lost Ronald Darby.
Yeah.
I feel like we lost another one too. Oh, Rocky
signed Mullet, and then
we brought back Arthur Millette, and Marlon Humphrey should be healthy now. Brandon Stevens, he's here for his last year. At cornerback, I feel like we were straight, but we could have possibly gotten better. Definitely Nate Wiggins. I think he'll automatically leapfrog Jalen Armour-Davis. And
Pepe Williams still there.
Yeah, Pepe Williams. He'll automatically leapfrog the both of them for playing time. And I really do think that both of their roster spots are in jeopardy, especially because he's obviously going to be a lock to make the roster. But with TJ Tampa too. Yep. One of them two, possibly both, especially depending on if Ravens end up signing somebody else, because they actually did sign another cornerback, a special teams cornerback. They signed one this offseason. I forget his name. My apologies, but. So yeah, they those two spots are in jeopardy for sure. So I feel like we gained more than we lost at the cornerback position. But then somebody else who I guess we didn't lose but got rid of, Odell Beckham Jr. And with Odell Beckham Jr., he was solid for the Ravens last year. A little over 30 catches, a little over 500 yards for the Ravens, and a couple of touchdowns. Now with the wide receiver position, while they did lose Odell Beckham Jr., I feel like there's still a little bit of question marks here and there. Obviously, Zay Flowers, he did his thing. But Rashad Bateman, I feel like, is the X factor for this wide receiver room. If Rashad Bateman can be the Rashad Bateman that we all hope he can be, then we'll be in some real good shape. But if he doesn't deliver on that potential, then it could be a scary sight to see. So much depends on Bate this season as far as if losing Odell Beckham Jr. will be a significant loss, or it'll be like, oh, okay, no, but Bate got it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree with a lot of those. I'm pretty high on Trenton Simpson, but I totally agree that he's not going to step into all pro Patrick Queen level. And, you know, that Patrick Queen even was these last 2 years. Trenton Simpson's not going to step in this year. I don't think that's even possible. What about safety? Do you think we need to bring someone else in just because? No, you're good. I just want to go through because I think that's something that we really haven't addressed yet. Geno Stone, you know.
I knew I was forgetting something. No, we done lost so much that it's easy to forget everything that we did lose. And Geno Stone, that's a big loss. And again, there's a lot of things that I've seen from Ravens fans since we lost him. I think when certain players go to certain teams, then it's like Ravens fans, they get this animosity towards them. Like, wasn't nobody mad at Gus Edwards? We saw when Gus Edwards went to the Chargers, everybody, oh, thanks, Gus, for all the years. Hope you do well over there. Hey, we wish you well. Okay, Gus, shout out to you. But Geno Stone going to the Bengals, oh, no, he wasn't that good anyway. Patrick Queen going to the Steelers, oh, he was always sorry. So I think it all just depends on where people go. But Geno Stone, he was good for the Ravens. I mean, we saw when he got his opportunity, he ended up leading the league in interceptions for a period of time. And he was doing his thing. But Geno Stone, similar, in my opinion, to what Roquan Smith did for Patrick Queen, just allowing Patrick Queen to really unlock a lot of his potential. I feel like Geno Stone and Marcus Williams, they did that for Kyle Hamilton because they allowed him to just be free, be loose, be himself, and be, in my opinion, I mean, rough a little feather, but in my opinion, he is the best defensive player for the Baltimore Ravens. Kyle Hamilton can literally do everything. You can put him anywhere, and he will cover. He'll blitz. He'll drop back. He can do everything on defense. You mess around and put him on offense, he can probably do everything there too. But Ravens don't do that. But Kyle Hamilton is like that, and we're able to see how he was like that from the Ravens having 2 additional safeties to allow Kyle Hamilton to roam free. So, yeah, safety is a big hole that's missing right now, just adding another safety. Of course, they did draft Sanusi Kane in, the 7th round. They signed Bo Braid out of University of Maryland. But both of those guys are rookies. Not to say that they can't handle the job, not to say that they can't do it, but Ravens are in win-now mode. So they're not – I couldn't expect them to start a rookie at that safety spot to handle all of that. So I would definitely expect them to sign a veteran at that position real soon, just so they can continue to allow Kyle Hamilton to be exactly who he is. And that's not just a traditional safety, but just a straight up baller.
100% agree. And on that note, breaking news right now from Adam Schefter, former Seahawks Pro Bowl safety Jamal Adams is visiting today with the Baltimore Ravens. Just came through.
Wow.
While we're on air. Yeah, I know.
That's something.
So, yeah, right on cue.
Yeah.
We're visiting with Jamal Adams.
That's what happened.
What's your immediate thoughts on that while we're here?
Wow. That's interesting because I know Jamal Adams to be more of the box safety or the linebacker type, not necessarily the drop back. I remember the Baltimore Ravens years ago, they were interested in Jamal Adams and they wanted to try to trade for Jamal Adams. But it obviously didn't go through. That was a while back. And then I think that's right before Chuck Clark started, I believe, because that's when was that when Tony Jefferson got injured? Either way, I know they tried to trade for him years ago, but it obviously didn't happen. But I know with Seahawks, he was solid, but he dealt with a lot of injuries with the Seahawks. I don't know if that would be the best fit. I don't know, because I just feel like he is more the box safety, so I feel like he would have Kyle Hamilton like push back, and I don't know. We'll see. I guess I got to watch some film on him now, like extra film on him now to see what Jamal Adams is really about. But that is a very interesting visit right there. Now,
I agree. Go ahead.
Real quick. There have been times where the Baltimore Ravens, they may be eyeing somebody else. They may be talking with somebody else, but they'll bring in somebody for a visit as sort of a smokescreen. Not saying that this is that, but it is a possibility to think about. Because again, I just don't feel like he's the best fit for the Baltimore Ravens, and so they could possibly be looking at other safeties and whatnot. It's crazy how we were literally just talking about safeties and this drops, man.
I was like,
that's crazy, man. Crazy timing. So yeah, we'll see, man. That's exciting though, because it shows that Ravens are moving. They active, and they know that we know, and we just saying safety is a need. Safety is a need for sure. And Ravens are active, so I like it.
No, I like it too. I mean, I'm always for adding talent. Obviously, I agree with you, though. Jamal Adams is an interesting fit. I was looking through the free agent list especially at safety, just because I know we have a hole there. And I was leaning more towards the Justin Simmons of the world and things like that, because he's just more versatile in coverage. I feel like Adams has always been known as a blitzing safety, as a run defending safety. And then now with these injuries, he's probably even lost a little bit more explosion to be dropping back and reacting to the ball. But maybe they believe that Kyle Hamilton can do more of that, you know what I mean? And not just be blitzing as much and things like that. And you can bring a Jamal Adams in to be a little bit more physical and drop Kyle. Because I'm with you. I think Kyle is... I mean, he's arguably our best defender. I can't even argue against it. And he's only 22, so his upside
is crazy,
is ridiculous. Like I mean, this is last year. His first year, he had a couple struggles early, and then you saw the leap, and then last year you saw an even bigger leap. So like, what's else to come? I mean, he's just so young, Like I feel like this guy could be one of the best Ravens ever. I know that's crazy to say right now, but I really believe that we got to lock him up for sure. He's gonna be one that stays here a long time. But yeah, no, pretty wild. Yeah, while we're on this call, we're visiting with Jamal Adams. And like you said, it's just a visit, so who knows? And I don't think we're even going to sign anyone until after June 1st. But, was he cut?
Yeah, he either cut or his contract ran out.
His contract was up. Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. But
I don't even remember.
Yeah. We probably could just be doing our due diligence, too. Maybe we bring in a couple more safeties for a visit. All right, Ingraven, well, I appreciate you coming on the channel, man. Let the people know where they can find you on all the socials and YouTube.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. And I appreciate you having me. The YouTube is Ingraven Vids. Of course, Ravens fans, more than welcome. But really, fans are just any team, because we talk Ravens like 99% of the time. But we'll dive into a little bit of what's going on around the NFL as well. On Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It's Ingraven Viz, and on Instagram it is the same as well. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, man, no doubt. I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.